Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Mika Richards gave his thoughts on Bukayo Saka. Mika Richards has been giving his thoughts on England's players and has lavished praise on the colossal Bukayo Saka. Saka has been called up by Gareth Southgate a year after missing the crucial penalty in the Euro 2020 final. The heartbreaking scenes at Wembley sit firmly in the memory of everyone involved with the Three Lions. However, since then, Saka has gone from strength to strength with Arsenal. This season, he's been one of the star players, and writing in his column for the Daily Mail, Mika Richards believes Saka has a strong case to be in the starting 11 when England play Iran on Monday. Richard went on to say, "The progress this young man has made over the last 18 months is colossal. Look at the way he takes pressure penalties for Arsenal and the performances he has produced. His case to be included in the starting lineup is compelling. Saka has certainly been excellent for Arsenal. He is one of the key figures for Mikel Arteta, and while Arsenal are set to want a new winger, Saka is irreplaceable right now. Indeed, he's set to be rewarded with a new £200,000 a week contract at Arsenal. Should Saka start for England, it's likely we will see a former regular like Mason Mount or Raheem Sterling make way. There is a case to be made that we could save Saka and bring him on if things aren't going well against Iran, but then, with that thought, we might as well start him. The key to beating Iran could be getting at them early and not allowing them to settle into a defensive shape. Playing direct players with a trickery who run at defenders like Saka could well be crucial. Richards is right here about how Saka has dealt with the last 12 months, and if anyone deserves to start for England against Iran, it's the Arsenal man. TalkSPORT pundit now thinks Gabriel Jesus is Mikel Arteta's own Kevin De Bruyne. Arsenal legend Ray Parlour spoke to the Daily Express about his old team's start to the campaign. Parlour has been so impressed with Arteta's side this season, and in particular their work in the transfer market. He now believes that a new signing Gabriel Jesus is just as important to Arsenal as Kevin De Bruyne is to Manchester City. Jesus arrived from the Etihad in the summer and has flourished as Arsenal's number 9. Despite his poor recent record in front of goal, Jesus has been vital to his new side's brilliant form. Speaking about the North London side, Parlour said, "Jesus wasn't the main man. He always had other players around him, like Sergio Aguero and Kevin De Bruyne, but at Arsenal, now he is such an important player. He is probably just as important to them as De Bruyne and Aguero were to City. I think he is really took that on his shoulders and really enjoys being the main man. He knows he is going to be the main man, playing every week. I think he brings a lot to the dressing room, too. He is a lively character. I was there in pre-season, and he was really upbeat and positive, so I am sure he brings that across to the other players, which is really important." Arteta will be incredibly pleased with the immediate impact Jesus has had this season. He's been described as being vital important to Arsenal's fortunes this season by Ian Wright. Jesus' work on and off the ball is something that would have come from working under Pep Guardiola at Man City. The fact that Parlour believes that Jesus is as important as De Bruyne is to their respective teams is a massive compliment. The Belgian has been instrumental in Man City, winning plenty of trophies in his time at the club. If Jesus can have a similar effect at the Emirates, he will be written into Arsenal folklore soon enough. Merson says Granit Xhaka can spring big World Cup surprise. Arsenal legend Paul Merson has backed Granit Xhaka to help Switzerland spring a surprise at the World Cup. The Highbury icon, writing in the Daily Star, has tipped the Swiss to be dark horses at Qatar 2022. Xhaka has played a key role for an Arsenal side that has well and truly exceeded expectations so far this season. The Gunners sit 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League table and are in the Europa League last 16. Mikel Arteta has given Xhaka lessons to go further forward, a decision which has brought out the best in him, and Merson feels that the 30-year-old could play a role in exceeding expectations for his nation too. Merson went on to say, My dark horses this year are Switzerland. They rarely turn up at tournaments, but I just have a little sneaky feeling about them. They are one of the teams that you watch and say to yourself, I didn't know he was a Swiss. They always do well in qualifying and always seem to make these major tournaments, but it never quite ticks for them. They matched both France and Spain at Euro 2020 and took them both to penalties, beating the French. Granit Xhaka is playing as well as anybody this season in the Premier League with Arsenal, and you can't underestimate what that will do for their confidence. Switzerland are just one of those teams that have the capability to upset a few sides along the way. They are very hard working, and it will be a team that wins this World Cup, not a side made up of individuals. Nobody would have predicted Croatia to make the final in Russia, but when you break it down, they are a proper team. The same applies to Switzerland. Xhaka's time at the Emirates has seen him go from hero to zero and back again, a real redemption arc. Xhaka stuck around, but he continued to split the fanbase until this season. Now, he has become an undroppable figure in the heart of the Arsenal midfield. Could Xhaka's Arsenal form help him lead Switzerland into the latter stages of the World Cup? Anything can happen. Joey Cole says Gabriel Martinelli could well be the best player at World Cup 2026. Pundit Joey Cole has lavished praise on Arsenal and Brazil forward Gabriel Martinelli ahead of the World Cup. In a YouTube video with fellow pundit Peter Crouch, Cole spoke about Martinelli's inclusion into Chess plans for the tournament in Qatar. He thinks that Martinelli may not play too much in the coming weeks because of the likes of Neymar, but he could be the star of the next World Cup. Brazil have a huge attacking options, and that is one of the reasons they are many people's picks to win the tournament on December 18. Cole said, playing for Brazil is the one to get a cup for Brazil, especially as a forward. You know straight away you are one of the elite players in the world. The only one which was a surprise for me, not a huge surprise cause I love him, is Martinelli. I think that one there they are bringing him, but especially because they have got 8 other forwards. I don't think he will play much, but the next tournament he could be the star Neymar's getting on a bit. Crouch added, what a player to bring on though. If you are getting tired in extra time, bring on Martinelli. That could be a game changer. Martinelli has been in stunning form for Arsenal this season as they have soared to the Premier League summit by 5 points. He will be hoping to get the chance to shine for Brazil and Qatar, but Neymar is the man for Brazil and he will expect to start on the left wing. Come 2026, Martinelli will hope to be a Premier League winner and he could well be a key player for his country by then, but he may well get an opportunity off the bench this time around. Emile Smith Rowe has some big news for Gunners fans. Arsenal midfielder Emile Smith Rowe has said he is hoping to be back fit and playing immediately after the World Cup. The England international missed out on any chance of being with the Three Lions in Qatar through injury. He has also lost his place with Arsenal as the likes of Martinelli and Odegaard shine. However, there is some good news in the offing for Smith Rowe and Arsenal. The Gunners ace was in Abu Dhabi for the Formula 1 and when asked on the grid about his comeback, he delivered a positive response. Smith Rowe said on Sky Sports, hopefully I will be back by the first game after the World Cup. I am actually out here doing rehab. Today was my day off. I am back training tomorrow. I am back on the pitch. It's going well. Smith Rowe had enjoyed a stellar campaign last season that saw him win England caps. However, injuries have really put the brakes on for him, but with rehab going well and some warm weather training, it seems Smith Rowe will be back from injury soon enough. The news will be music to the ears of Mikel Arteta. Some of his players could go far in the World Cup, meaning Smith Rowe could well be vital over Christmas. There is nothing better than seeing one of your better players return from injury, and Arsenal are getting that with the exceptional Emile Smith Rowe. He has not really done anything wrong in terms of losing his place either. He has simply been unlucky, then had to watch his teammates succeed in front of him. But with a busy December and the players bound to be feeling it a tad, Smith Rowe's return is timely. Arteta needs everyone he's got at 100% for the title run in. Smith Rowe, then, could well play a huge role. Emmanuel Petit praises Arsenal defender William Saliba. Emmanuel Petit has raved about Arsenal star William Saliba for the way he has established himself as one of the best defenders in the Premier League this season. The young Frenchman joined the Gunners for £27 million back in 2019. He has been absolutely sensational so far this season and is one of the biggest reasons why Arsenal are on top of the Premier League table. Even though Arsenal signed Saliba over 3 years ago, it was only on the opening day of the season that he made his competitive debut for the club. Petit believes Saliba wanted to get some revenge on Arteta this season. He wanted to prove the Arsenal boss wrong, and well, he seems to be doing that brilliantly. The French World Cup winner told 90 Minutes France. He confirms all the good things we saw from him last season with Marseille. He showed a great maturity. 3 years after signing for Arsenal, I think he came back with a sense of revenge too. He wanted to prove something to everyone, especially Arteta, and I think he plays very well. He is like a rock. I like his reading of threats. Behind the defense is also very good with the ball fight, and he plays confidently and technically too. He has no problem playing the first balls and starting from the back. I am impressed. Yes, because he had to confirm all the good things we saw from him last season with Marseille, and with all due respect to Marseille, Arsenal is a more important club, so he does the same things and he plays very well. I think he is becoming a rock in this defense. In fact, he is one of the best defenders in England, that's for sure, and for me, he represents the future of Arsenal and the France team. Saliba really has been sensational for Arsenal this season. The Frenchman, still only 21, has been playing like he has been around for years. He is so composed on the ball, brilliant at reading the game, and many people will agree that he has been the best defender in the entire Premier League this season. The youngster is in the France squad for the World Cup, and it will be interesting to see if he will start next to Raphael Varane at the back. Arsenal now want to sign Memphis Depay. Arsenal are the latest club to be interested in making a move to sign former Manchester United forward Memphis Depay, according to reports. Spanish outlet Sport claims that Arsenal are now in the mix to sign Depay, who is set to star for Holland during the World Cup. Depay has had a miserable time in Barcelona. He's failed to get going and replicate the form he produced in Lyon. That form came after leaving Manchester United, who pocketed just £14.7 million when they sold him, but he has a number of clubs keen on signing him this January. Arsenal's interest is the latest, but we already know the likes of Tottenham are keen, while Depay is also thought to be keen on exploring a move to Chelsea. Arsenal's interest, though, could also perk Depay's interest. The Gunners are currently sitting top of the pile in the Premier League. That opens door for them in January, with the players likely to be keen on joining the success. Depay is said to be one of the main players for Holland and Qatar. His record for his country is excellent, having hit 42 goals in his 81 caps so far. That's the sort of record superstar strikers have, never mind a player who has struggled in La Liga. At international level, Depay is a different animal to that. He is at club level. For whatever reason, he seems to find his form, and his record for the Netherlands is outstanding. Whether or not Arsenal feel they can get that form from him though remains to be seen. Depay has been hit and miss, and mainly miss for Barcelona, so there is a risk here for the Gunners. At 28, he should really be in his peak. Naturally, a good World Cup will put him in the eye line of many clubs, and Arsenal might well be one of those clubs. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.